Assalamu alaikum. Ladies and gentlemen, the academic procession is about to enter the convocation arena. You are requested to please rise and remain standing till the Technology and Telecom. Rector, Virtual University of Pakistan. Registrar, Virtual University of Pakistan. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is a matter of immense pleasure for us that today we are holding the 4th Convocation of Virtual University of Pakistan at Lahore, celebrating the graduating ceremony of students who have completed their studies in fall 2011 and spring 2012 semesters. Your Excellency, may we start the proceedings? Thank you. I request Mr. Tahir Malik to please come on the stage and recite a few verses from the Holy Quran.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان والأرض وضعها للأنام فيها فاكهة والنخل ذات الأكمام والحب ذو العصف والريحان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان صدق الله العظيم. शुरू अल्लाह के नाम से जो बहुत मेहरबान और नहायत रहम वाला है। रहमान ही है जिसने कुरान सिखाया, इसने इंसान को पैदा किया और इसे बोलना सिखाया। सूरज और चाँद एक हिसाब से चल रहे हैं और बेलें और दरख्त सजदा कर रहे हैं, और आसमान को उसी ने बुलंद कर दिया और तराजू कायम की ताकि तुम तोलने में ज़्यादती ना करो और इंसाफ से तोलो और तोल ना घटाओ। और उसने खलकत के लिए ज़मीन को बिछा दिया और इसमें मेवे और गुलाफे वाली खजूरें हैं और भूसेदार अनाज हैं और खुशबूदार फूल हैं। फिर तुम अपने रब की कौन कौन सी नेमतों को झुटलाओगे। सदक़ल्लाहुल अज़ीम।
Jazakallah. To conduct the formal proceedings of the convocation, I now invite Dr. Sialkot Mehdi, Registrar, Virtual University of Pakistan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I request the Rector, Virtual University of Pakistan, to declare the convocation open.
I declare the 4th Convocation of Virtual University of Pakistan open.
Thank you, sir. I now request Professor Dr. Naveed Akhtar Malik, Rector, Virtual University of Pakistan, to deliver his welcome address. Dr. Naveed Malik.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Excellency Anusha Rahman Ahmad Khan, Minister of State for Information Technology, Dr. Sialkot Mehdi, Registrar, Virtual University, distinguished guests, esteemed faculty members, private sector partners, dear students, proud parents, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the last session of the 4th Convocation of the Virtual University of Pakistan being held today at Lahore. The convocation of a university is always a day of celebration, primarily for the graduates who have achieved a significant milestone in their careers, but also for their proud parents, and if I may add, their very proud teachers who have helped mentor them towards their individual goals. So without further ado, let me congratulate the graduating students for their accomplishments which they have achieved after years of hard work. You are today transitioning into a new phase of your lives, and your future success depends mainly on how best you apply the knowledge and experience gained from attending this university. You are starting your careers when the information age is in full swing. All our lives are increasingly being influenced by rapid scientific and technological developments. For you to succeed in this challenging environment, you need to apply your intellectual resources to the utmost. However, just being knowledgeable about a particular field is no longer enough. You have to hold yourself up to the highest levels of honesty, integrity, and ethical values in order to make meaningful contributions to the development goals and objectives of our dear country. As graduates of the Virtual University of Pakistan, I'm very sure of one thing. You have all achieved your degrees through these very principles: honesty, integrity, and hard work. I'm confident that if you continue to maintain these values in your future lives, there is no limit to how high you can go. Just remember one thing. Attaining a degree is not the end of the road. You must become and remain lifelong learners and continue to widen your knowledge and gain deeper wisdom. Once again, I would like to congratulate you on your magnificent achievement and wish you the best in your future endeavors. Your proud parents also have their due share in these congratulations, as do your teachers, many of whom are here today. Let me share some facts about the Virtual University of Pakistan and give a glimpse as to where we are headed. As you all know, the Virtual University is very young, being exactly 12 years old today. However, in these 12 years, the university has transformed from a fledgling startup with a presence in 18 cities and only 500 students to a major national university with a presence in over 100 cities of the country and over 100,000 students on its rolls. With more than 20,000 graduates to date, the Virtual University represents one of the best investments into its own future that this nation has ever made. No other university can boast of a lower cost per student while maintaining the world-class quality of graduates that the Virtual University has become synonymous with. On previous occasions, we have proudly recounted how well our graduates have been performing in master's programs in other universities. We have moved on since then. Now it is a regular feature for Virtual University graduates to call us and inform us about receiving their PhDs. And these doctorates are being achieved from top-tier universities around the globe. So once again, congratulations to our graduates, and thank you for bringing a good name to your alma mater and to your country. Looking at the success story of the Virtual University, several other universities are now starting to experiment with distance education. Visits of the delegations to Virtual University have now become a regular feature, and in keeping with our policy of openness, we have always shared our methodologies, our software systems, and pedagogical approaches with them. After all, we are all trying to overcome the same problem, an acute shortage of qualified manpower and an undercapacity system of higher education. Following the same policy of openness, the high-quality learning resources developed by VU in the form of video lectures and handouts have also been shared with all public and private universities and transferred to their servers free of cost. Through this single act, students and faculty members all across Pakistan are benefiting from the top-notch courses developed by the best professors of the country. We feel proud of having made a contribution to our combined vision of seeing an educated Pakistan. We do not believe in resting on our laurels, however. The Virtual University has established a vibrant Directorate of Quality Enhancement, which has taken VU to the top quality rankings of the Higher Education Commission. However, our chief assets are our students, who constantly engage in constructive criticism and help us improve our courses, programs, and pedagogy. The Virtual University has declared 2014 as the year of student support, and in addition to the establishment of a student support cell, the university is also planning to introduce a synchronous system of interaction whereby students will be able to directly converse with their instructors. We feel that the introduction of this measure will help our students immensely and allow them to perform even better in their studies. Already, VU graduates are being recognized as independent workers and resourceful individuals with a sound grasp of their respective fields. Add to that some of the softer skills that synchronous interaction will allow them to acquire, and there is literally no height that our graduates will not reach. Needless to say, all our endeavors are based on the innovative use of information technologies. Even our synchronous audio tutorials will be based on IT, and our student-teacher meetings will be in cyberspace. Already, Pakistan has become one of the high adopters of the cellular revolution. The Virtual University is waiting with excited anticipation to the launch of 3G and 4G services in the country. These services will allow VU to introduce new interventions into our educational systems, and we will be able to transform from our founding concept of knowledge beyond boundaries to the latest concept of knowledge in your pocket. Excellency, I distinctly remember your very first question when we met some time ago. Your major concern was whether the education being provided by our universities would enable our graduates to get jobs. I would like to take this opportunity to inform the gathering that not only are VU graduates being gainfully employed all across the country as well as overseas, they are also establishing their own companies as small and medium enterprises and becoming job creators. I'm sure that even today there are many young budding entrepreneurs in the audience. At last count, our graduates were hard at work in countries like the USA, UK, UAE, Germany, Australia, New Zealand, France, etc., while many more are enrolled in advanced education programs within and outside the country. Continuing with the theme of student empowerment, the university intends to launch a series of skill-enabling 2-year associate degree programs that will allow students to enter the job market early. The market-ready skills that these associate degree programs will impart will stand them in good stead for immediate placement and resonate with the industry. Students may then return at a later date to continue seamlessly in their 4-year degree programs. We have recently been informed by the Higher Education Commission that distance education students are not being included in the Prime Minister's laptop scheme due to their sheer numbers. We feel that this is very unfair to our students who are as good, if not better, than their counterparts in conventional universities. Plus, if they are already IT literate, they would make the best possible use of these machines. I would like to request the Honorable Minister to use her good offices to have virtual university students included in the list. And even if our numbers are large, I'm sure that by selecting the top students of our batches, the numbers can become reasonable. Excellency, we look to you with hopeful anticipation. Looking towards the long-term future, I would like to share some thoughts with this August gathering. Having spent my life in higher education, it has become painfully apparent that the most frustrating day in an academic year for a teacher is the first day of classes when we come face-to-face in reality or virtually with graduates from our high school systems. As teachers, we find that the students do not question or debate the issues, but simply sit there and listen. It is not the fault of the students. We, as teachers in the high school system, have never encouraged our wards to ask questions or to be inquisitive or creative. As a result, we end up teaching at the high school level in our universities, and the opportunity for rapid advancement is lost. The Virtual University of Pakistan plans to tackle this problem head-on by appropriate interventions at the teacher training level, and even through the introduction of innovative pedagogy at the school level. We plan to make a sea change in the K-12 sector and raise the quality of education all the way down to the school level. In this regard, a national teacher training curriculum has been revamped recently, and the Virtual University was part of this effort. A team of highly qualified professors from MIT visited Pakistan last summer and conducted a series of workshops at Virtual University, which were attended by faculty from several different institutions. We are very proud of the fact that a world-class institution like MIT chose VU as its partner in the process. Several MOUs have been signed with national and international universities, and hopefully many of them will see the light of day in the form of tangible programs and initiatives. Of particular mention is an MOU with the University of the Punjab, whereby we hope to collaborate in many different ventures. The Virtual University has matured into a well-regarded national institution. Along this path, the university has been well supported by the Ministry of Information Technology, the Higher Education Commission, and especially our private sector partners who have taken the message of high-quality education to all corners of the country. Not to be forgotten are the staff members of the university who have worked with selfless devotion for the cause of education, and many of whom are here today. I thank you all. Alhamdulillah, Virtual University of Pakistan is playing a significant role in empowering the nation. It stands as a symbol of increased access, a learner-friendly and centric approach, high quality of education, and new, convenient ways of student-teacher interaction. In the end, I would like to express my deepest appreciation for our Honorable Minister, who has taken time out from her extremely busy schedule to grace the occasion. Pakistan Zindabad.
Thank you, sir. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we now proceed with the conferment of degrees. During fall 2011 and spring 2012 semesters, a total of 4,289 candidates became eligible for the award of bachelor's 2-year, BS 4 years, master's, and MS degrees, out of which 2,804 candidates will receive their degrees here at Lahore. Successful candidates for all bachelor's degrees, please rise. Respected sir, during fall 2011 and spring 2012 semesters, a total of 883 candidates became eligible for the award of bachelor's 2 years and bachelor's of science 4-year degrees, out of which 463 candidates will receive their respective degrees here at Lahore. I request you to confer upon them their respective degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as Rector of the Virtual University of Pakistan, I admit you to your respective degrees and authorize you with rights and privileges to wear the robes ordained as the insignia of these degrees.
I congratulate the bachelor's degree holders and request them to be seated. Successful candidates for all master's degree, please rise. Sir, during fall 2011 and spring 2012 semesters, a total of 3,400 candidates became eligible for the award of master's degrees, out of which 2,339 candidates will receive their respective degrees here at Lahore. I request you to confer upon them their respective degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as Rector of the Virtual University of Pakistan, I admit you to your respective degrees and authorize you with rights and privileges to wear the robes ordained as the insignia of these degrees.
Thank you, sir. I congratulate the master degrees holder and request them to be seated. Successful candidate for Master of Science in Computer Science, please rise. Sir, during fall 2011 and spring 2012 semesters, 6 candidates became eligible for the award of Master of Science in Computer Science, out of which 2 candidates will receive their degrees here at Lahore. I request you to confer upon them their respective degree.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as Rector of the Virtual University of Pakistan, I admit you to your degrees and authorize you with rights and privileges to wear the robes ordained as the insignia of this degree.
Now I request Madam Anusha Rahman Ahmad Khan, Minister of State for Information Technology and Telecom, to deliver the convocation address. Madam Minister.
Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Honorable Rector of the University, Dr. Naveed Akhtar Malik, Registrar, distinguished guests, my young graduates, master degree holders, parents, my friends from media, and everybody else who I have not addressed but is present here, Assalamu alaikum. It's been an absolute pleasure for me to be standing here on the 4th Convocation of VU. The virtual university, as we all know, is delivering for the last 12 years on an uphill task of bringing information technology to the homes of Pakistan. And I would like to offer my heartiest congratulations to all the students who are graduating here today. I'm expecting a little bit more enthusiasm from you than that you're demonstrating. I feel that you have accomplished a lot. I clearly see a very bright future of our country. A place where I'm standing here today and standing from this podium, what brings immense happiness even more than just seeing you as graduates, but also see a gender balance in the graduates. I see my daughters, my sisters, these young females who are harnessing the future of the country hand in hand with the men. And my congratulations to you. I would also like to congratulate the parents of these successful graduates, as well as their teachers and mentors. So it's very heartening for me to learn that the graduates from the VU are pursuing careers both within the country and abroad, and earning a good name for the nation. But what is really required for all of us to see that what in the last 12 years has been achieved by VU, is it sufficient, or that you're all looking for and looking forward to the new era of technology that Pakistan is going to enter from the next very month? I hope you're all aware that what we are trying to do from the federal government sitting in the Ministry of IT is to help Pakistan enter what was missed out in the last few years, and to get the spectrum auction done for 3G and 4G spectrum. It's not just about having a life in large cities in Pakistan. It's about all those areas, the underserved and unserved areas, where the students and the children require equal amount of attention. And what we feel that getting the 3G, 4G spectrum rollout will help us achieve the ubiquitous growth across the country of the IT and telecom sector. And what I also feel that once we can go through the spectrum auction, you as partners, you as citizens of Pakistan will play an active role in getting that enhancement reached. And how you're going to do that is something I wanted to talk to you about today. Though I have a written transcript here, which I would also like to read, but I thought what I want to do first is to talk to you about what Pakistan is heading towards and what should be and could be your role in getting those prospects shared with the country. What is happening through 3G and 4G is not just about having a bandwidth to download video films on your phones, but more than that is about all those arenas of cool applications, all those databases, e-agriculture, e-health, e-learning, e-police, e-commerce, m-commerce, all those services on the e-platforms that you could be the champions of forming the applications for. Now, all of you, the young graduates here today, should not have to really go after seeking jobs. What you yourself are today, capable of making and earning and a living starting right from today. And I hope you all appreciate that. My vision that has been implemented through the manifesto of the PMLN party is to empower each and every one of you to be bread earners from the very beginning of your graduation. When 3G, 4G spectrum gets launched, what the Plum study of UK, which is an independent organization, states that there's going to be a 900,000 growth in employment in the next 5 years. I also head the board of the Pakistan Software Export, and you are aware that the main target of the PSEB is to create a bridge in the IT sector between the young entrepreneurs, the incubators, the small startups, the big companies, the large organizations, and opening a door of introduction with all those companies who are working outside, and try to create a linkage between what we called a global village as we are today. So Pakistan Software Export Board, which had a base of some 600 plus companies, has gone up to 2,000. And with all of you young entrepreneurs looking into setting up startup operations, I'm looking forward to seeing you there on that database very soon. The PSAB is getting accreditation for itself so that they can start certifying IT companies and putting them on the database and showing them to the world that what Pakistani companies are capable of doing, what are their core competencies, what is it that they can be used for getting more work from abroad. I hope that you can come forward and use that platform for getting introduced to the world. Now, on the inception of 3G, 4G, there is if you were to Google search a little bit what even countries like Sri Lanka or for that matter Bangladesh have done after the introduction of technology into their countries. One thing that I was discussing yesterday, I was being visited by the CEO of a policy organization from Sri Lanka, that they would want to bring to you the opportunities through seminars and through conferences as to how you can work on cool applications, how you can work on making the softwares for what would be the public sector, the private sector, and the international organizations' demand. So I would be welcoming you in the first week of May to a series of seminars that are being conducted for 3 days constantly for you to find out opportunities for yourself in the global markets. I've spoken to the group CEOs of the telecom companies when I was visiting GSM in Spain. And what has been highlighted and come out of our discussions is that the IT is taking per se lead over telecom companies. And when you talk about 1 or 2 small companies having a strength of 50, you know what I'm referring to, WhatsApp, worth around $19.8 billion, I thought there was all these, each one of you is capable of becoming one company like that. And now with the help of the private sector, which I mean is the telecom companies, I'm encouraging them to work and select from within themselves the areas of excellence that they want to create in the form of e-agriculture and e-health, and taking ownership and collaboration with the public sector. So you will again be having more opportunities for developing applications from that platform. And then another platform that I thought was the most important platform, because although you're working as virtual university and you've learned from virtual university and you're used to working from remote locations, that I still feel that the government has to give you the environment to nurture your talent. And that environment comes when you interact with each other, when you have connectivity, when you have the basic infrastructure, where you have affordable offices, where you can all sit together and think as to what applications are going to take you ahead of the next, perhaps in the 5Gs or 6G of the technologies. So what we are doing, and I'm in my very late stages talking to World Bank, is setting up of 3 technology parks in Pakistan. And the first one is going to be in Islamabad, the second one is going to be in Lahore, and third in Karachi. And I think this is huge news for you. I'm calling in Islamabad as the Islamabad ICT Valley. I mean, I'm very inspired by the Silicon Valley. I'm equally happy with the Dubai Internet City. If I can get somewhere in between, in Islamabad, Karachi, and Lahore, the Honorable Rector is going to concur with me, is something that would be a huge achievement for you to set up as a platform from there. This is going to be, I'm working on different models. We're getting a technical advisor. We are going to have it modeled for us. What I see within the next 18 months to 24, we will have the basic infrastructure platform all set, designed, ready for launch to be used in the next 3 to 4 years. I think it's a very achievable target. And I think that you should also keep that in mind, and that is coming from the government side for you so that you can also start planning for your future. Then another thing that I thought it was very important that without the public sector domain, without the public sector ownership, just the private sector alone cannot generate the kind of IT-related activity that Pakistan needs. And I'm talking only about IT, but I'm sure the other students who have disciples from finance and business administration are equally a beneficiary, because IT remains an enabler of whatever activities you are doing. Is that I personally have a lot of interest in that how I can build the industry-academia collaboration so that all our research takes us forward. So when you graduate, you should be immediately either picked up by the industry, because whatever you have studied is in line with what they want, which I had a discussion with your rector, to tailor-made your syllabi in accordance with the need of the industry. And he tells me that he's working on it, and to a certain extent it is a successful model. But also that how to, and the second thing is that how to create the public sector demand. I would like to announce in Lahore today, though I have the people in Islamabad are already privy to it, we are putting the federal government on e-governance model. And it was, again, something that was started in 2004. It could never complete. But what we have achieved, alhamdulillah, Allah is kind, we have put the divisions on intranet connectivity. So we have 38 divisions in the federal government, and those 38 divisions are getting connected through intranet, and which means that the ministers' offices and all the ministries would be working on daily basis on internet. So we are going for less paper. I can't really claim paperless, but we are going for less paper. So as soon as the public sector moves in the direction of using more e-modes, like e-government that we are heading towards, there is a demand that automatically gets generated for the applications that I'm looking forward all of you to have an opportunity to work on. The e-government prospects actually increase efficiency. It increased transparency, and you all know that. I'm using it now. It is already rolled out in the Prime Minister office. It is rolled out in Ministry of IT. It is rolled out in 50% of the National Assembly, and so on and so forth. They're all at different stages of implementation. I'm not seen as a very popular minister because I'm really increasing transparency in the working. And somebody thinks that I am putting, in the sense, a very, very stringent demand, because it's sometimes difficult for people to come on the computers. We have got people from all age groups. Not all are as young and IT-versed as you all are. So there is a hand-holding and change management process, but we are putting a deadline of 6 to 8 months from now when everybody can start using the e-office, which means the finance, the HR, the inventory, the PC1s, the attendance, everything is coming on the e-office application. Connected to that is the telecenters project. And I welcome all of you to study carefully what telecenters project are going to offer to Pakistan. In the beginning, we are starting with 500 telecenter projects, and it is awaiting approval of the Prime Minister, and then we are rolling it out. Is again reaching out to the underserved and unserved areas and bringing out the basic e-services to the masses. For example, we will be having the facility of Nadra in those telecenters. We'll be having the birth, death registration. I'm talking about bringing out the e-agriculture, e-health, and e-commerce facility, like, for example, something like e-Pesa, then your biometric identification by the telcos. And there's a huge arena of services that the telecenters are going to perform. And therein, I spoke to the rector, I'm keeping the room for the virtual university to have some kind of a support system available to the students to go to those areas if they are VU students, for example, in the remote parts of, in some places in the mountains, or if they are even in the deserts, if the telecenter is there, your colleagues, your students of the VU will have access to the syllabi, to the course, to the modules of the virtual university, even if they are hundreds of thousands and miles away from you. So I think this is another very important platform for the VU to tap fully and to inculcate and to work on. Well, I've just spoken to you about a few initiatives that I'm taking. Maybe I can get back to my written speech also, because I thought it was important for you to know what the government of Pakistan is trying to do. Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif is so keen on getting Pakistan be as competitive in the global village that I always seem to be calling it, to be as competitive as and no less than anybody else on this earth. So when we started talking about the 3G spectrum, he said to me straight away, give to Pakistan what's latest. And what's latest for Pakistan is 4G. So we are working on his direction, and what I'm really hoping that from next month onwards, you would all be the beneficiaries. Just a word about my women folk. There is a unique opportunity for the women folk whereby they can seamlessly merge the acquisition of higher education with their critical roles as homemakers. And you would also be aware of the Chief Minister Punjab Women Empowerment Package, which I had to play a small role in it. We drafted it. It was a 36-point women empowerment package, which in the last 2 years has taken a shape where at the board level now, we have, as per law, a mandatory representation of women. And I hope all the girls are aware about it. If you are in anywhere, you know that one day you would be the policymakers and you will be on the boards, and you can be on the boards, and you can be the decision makers, equal partners, not a segment of the society. Through the Women Empowerment Package, we have this board representation. We amended the law to give inheritance right to the women without having to apply for it. We had the provision for daycare centers for them. There's a funding allocated for daycare centers if there are more than 5 women in any arena, includes the universities. And there are like 36 points which we have done for the women. And if you think that you need to have more facilitation, we are all there to make it for you. So I can see all of you are getting very warm because it is a little bit warm here. I would once again like to congratulate you on your magnificent achievement. I pray that a bright future awaits you and you play your due role in the progress and development of our beloved homeland. If there's anything I need to do, you know that I am there for you. But if whatever needs to be done from your end, it's our responsibility to work hand in hand, because somebody said to me, ma'am, this 3G, 4G spectrum auction is a win-win situation for everyone. I said, no, I pray that Pakistan wins. Then we are all winners. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Minister. I request the Worthy Rector to declare the convocation closed.
I declare the 4th Convocation of Virtual University of Pakistan closed.
Thank you, sir. This concludes the formal proceedings of the convocation.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now proceed with the medal and certificate awarding ceremony. Every student's dream of obtaining quality education has been made true by the Virtual University of Pakistan. It is a great honor for us to hold this event. My dear graduates, you have shown high levels of academic excellence and have achieved distinctions. We're really proud of you. Now, I invite the Controller of Examinations, Professor Dr. Mushtaq Hussain Qasmi, to take over the proceedings. Sir.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable Madam Anusha Rahman Ahmed Khan, Minister of State, Information Technology and Communication, Professor Dr. V.Ub.ed Malak, Rector, proud parents, graduates and respected guests. It is my pleasure to inform the august gathering that Virtual University has instituted gold medal for highest achievers in all BS, Master and MS degree programs of the university. Top 3 positions in each program will also receive certificates of merit. It is also my pleasure to inform you that Dell Pakistan has gifted laptops for the highest achievers in the BS and MS programs in each faculty. We thank Dell Pakistan for this gesture and hope that it will become an established tradition. A total of 4 laptops, 13 gold medals, 70 merit certificates will be awarded to the position holders of the 4th Convocation, out of which 3 laptops, 5 gold medals, and 34 merit certificates are being distributed today at Lahore. I would now like to invite Madam Anusha Rahman Ahmed Khan, Minister of State, Information Technology and Communication, Professor Dr. V.Ub.ed Malak, Rector, to award laptop, gold medals, and merit certificate to position holders who graduated during the fall 2011 and spring 2012 semesters.
Our heartiest congratulations to the graduating students. Virtual University of Pakistan, leaders in education technology.